Global supply chains may be entering a full-scale industrial crisis, and the auto industry is suddenly caught right in the middle of it. China now holds enormous leverage over the rare earth minerals powering EVs, military systems, batteries, and advanced manufacturing, while America's trade fight with Canada may already be backfiring. Welcome back to your ultimate pit stop, Piston Pundit. What started as a border bridge dispute is now exposing dangerous cracks across North America's automotive supply chain. And as Canada rises into a mineral superpower, the global balance of industrial power could be shifting far faster than most automakers expected. Bridge War, America's trade lifeline backfires. For decades, the Ambassador Bridge served as one of North America's most critical trade arteries, moving huge volumes of engines, transmissions, batteries, auto parts, and commercial freight between Detroit and Windsor. At one point, nearly a quarter of all US-Canada merchandise trade crossed that single route, but that dominance is now rapidly fading. The biggest issue comes down to toll costs and politics. Commercial truck tolls reportedly surged to around $27 per axle, while Ontario's competing Blue Water Bridge charged only about $7. Trucking companies quickly rerouted freight to protect already thin profit margins. Controversy intensified after reports linked Ambassador Bridge owner Matthew Maroon to MAGA-incorporated donations shortly before Trump threatened to block Canada's $6 billion Gordie Howe International Bridge project. Critics accused political forces of protecting a private toll monopoly. Instead, the strategy appears to have backfired. Commercial traffic shifted elsewhere, weakening one of North America's most important automotive supply corridors. But while freight routes and trade crossings are becoming unstable, another battle is quietly reshaping the future of EVs, batteries, and industrial manufacturing itself. Canada's mineral boom, China's new rival emerges. While Washington focused on tariffs and trade battles, Canada quietly became one of the world's most important strategic resource players. During a visit to Canada, Finnish President Alexander Stubb even suggested the country now aligns increasingly closely with the European Union, highlighting how quickly global alliances are shifting. Canada's importance goes far beyond politics. The country holds massive reserves of lithium, nickel, cobalt, graphite, uranium, and rare earth minerals essential for EVs, hybrid systems, semiconductors, batteries, and defense technology. Major projects like British Columbia's Wichita deposit and Quebec's Strange Lake site contain valuable materials such as dysprosium and terbium used in electric drivetrains, radar systems, and advanced electronics. Billions are now flowing into Canadian mining, refining, and processing infrastructure as automakers regionalize supply chains away from China. Ironically, while America tries reducing Chinese dependence, tensions with Canada risk weakening one of its strongest long-term alternatives for stable mineral supplies. And once you look deeper into the global mineral supply chain, the scale of America's dependence on China becomes even more alarming. China's rare earth grip, America cornered again. The biggest development may actually be unfolding in Beijing. Despite years of promises about reducing dependence on China, the United States remains heavily vulnerable in rare earth minerals and refining capacity. China dominates nearly every stage of the rare earth industry, controlling most global refining output, while America contributes less than 1%. That imbalance creates major risks for EV manufacturing, consumer electronics, and national defense. Industries dependent on rare earths reportedly support around $1.2 trillion in U.S. economic activity. EVs and hybrids rely heavily on neodymium, praseodymium, dysprosium, and terbium for high-efficiency electric motors used by Tesla, Ford, GM, Hyundai, and Rivian. Military systems are equally dependent, including F-35 fighter jets, Tomahawk missiles, radar systems, submarines, and satellites. China understands this leverage extremely well. Any future export restrictions or geopolitical escalation could sharply increase battery costs, disrupt vehicle production, and pressure global automotive supply chains. But China's dominance is also forcing North America to search aggressively for a safer long-term industrial backup plan. Before we continue, take a quick second to smash that like button and subscribe to Piston Pundit. It really helps us bring more automotive industry deep dives and geopolitical vehicle updates straight to enthusiasts like you. Now, let's shift gears into the next major development. Canada's mineral Lifeline, America's critical escape route. The biggest twist in this story may be Canada's growing importance as a rare earth alternative to China. While Beijing still dominates global refining, Canada holds some of the world's largest untapped mineral reserves and offers political stability, transparency, and long-term partnerships with Western economies. That matters enormously for automakers and defense manufacturers. North America is rapidly expanding EV battery plants, semiconductor facilities, and mineral processing infrastructure across Michigan, Ontario, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Quebec. But all of those factories require secure raw material access. Canada's geographic proximity creates another huge advantage. Shipping minerals into American manufacturing corridors is far easier and safer than relying on overseas routes vulnerable to export restrictions or geopolitical conflict. Ironically, Washington continues clashing with Canada while searching for alternatives to Chinese supply chains. Yet Canada may ultimately become America's strongest long-term solution for securing future EV production, manufacturing stability, and industrial independence. And that contradiction leads directly into the biggest takeaway from this entire geopolitical and automotive realignment. Verdict: the global resource war is already here. What we are witnessing now is much bigger than a simple trade dispute. This is becoming a global fight over industrial power, mineral dominance, manufacturing security, and the future of advanced technology itself. China still controls most of the world's rare earth refining system. Canada is emerging as a critical alternative supplier, and the United States remains caught between economic dependence and geopolitical rivalry. For automakers, the stakes are massive. EV production, hybrid systems, battery manufacturing, semiconductor expansion, and even traditional vehicle assembly all depend on stable supply chains for critical minerals. One major disruption could impact factories, dealerships, pricing, and vehicle availability across the world. And the biggest question may be whether America can rebuild reliable domestic and allied supply chains before geopolitical tensions escalate even further. Because the answer may ultimately determine which countries lead the next generation of automotive manufacturing. What do you think about China's rare earth dominance? Could Canada realistically become America's strongest supply chain partner? And how much could these geopolitical battles impact future EV prices and vehicle production? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to subscribe to get notified for more vehicle updates, industry insights, and global automotive developments right here on Piston Pundit. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. You can now check out any of the videos on the screen. There's plenty more to explore.